Gina ko ng DTX 500. O pagkatapos nga nagnubo akong blood pressure, pinakanami gid ang DTX 500.
DTX 500. Alright, so everybody, settle down. Ma-witty story na ta. So after sang witty story, I want you to comment and send your reaction sa text line 0912718701.
Hey, listen.
Once upon a time. So there was this professor and the young men. Okay, the young men and the professor. Oh, and then the young professional. Okay. So the professor was being interviewed by a young professional, young man. So gin-interview ya ang professor. And then the young man asked, "Sir, in your last lecture, you told us about contact and connection. It was really confusing. Can you please explain?" So amo na hambal sang young men. Ginpamangkot ya ang professor. Niya, in your last lecture, you told us about contact and connection. It was really confusing. I'm confused. I'm bewildered. Will you please explain it to me? So the professor smiled. He smiled and asked, "Are you from this city?" Pamangkot siya kung taga diri siya. And then the young man replied, Yes, I'm from here." And then the professor asked, "Who's in your family? Who's in your family?" And then the young man felt that the professor was trying to avoid his question. Ngang pamangkot niya malang tani nga i-explain ang contact and connection. Kasimple niya duga avoid ni sa sakon nga pamangkot niya man. So the young man felt that the professor was trying to avoid his question by asking such personal questions. Yet, he replied. Hambal sang young man, father, two brother and sister, and tanan nga mga siblings ko are all married. And then the professor asked again with a smile on his face. Namangkot liwat. "So do you talk to your father?" Nambal sang professor, "So do you talk to your father?" And then the young man got annoyed. So back lang sang mind yaw na ano ni sa yaman. So the young man got annoyed. So seeing this, doon na realize man sang professor nga daw na init na sa. So seeing this, the professor said, "When was the last time you talked to him?" Yung padayon niya pagid pamangkot, "When was the last time you talked to him?" And then the young man replied, "Maybe a month ago." Sabat man sa Japon, bisan daw pagot na sa. Now the professor asked again, "Do you meet your siblings often? When was the last time you had a family gathering?" Munang pamangkot sang professor. So at this point, the young man, felt batyaga niya gid nga as if the professor was interviewing him. Nga dapat ani siya to yung ma-interview. Ano dagig suliaw. So at this point, the young man felt that it was as if the professor was interviewing him. Though the young man was feeling uncomfortable. Though hindi na siya comfortable with the professor asking all these personal questions. Personal lang ang mga questions ginapamangkot. But still, he replied, balsang young man, "We last met 2 years ago at the festival. 2 years ago." And then the professor asked again, For how long did you all stay together?" Grabe nga pamangkot. And then the young man replied, 3 days. 3 days lang. And then the professor asked, "So how much time did you spend with your tatay?" Grabe, personal na gidya mo. How much time did you spend with your dad sitting next to him? And then the young man looked upset. He looked upset and he looked embarrassed. And Tungod nga daw nahuya sa yung nimo, doga sulat-sulat na sa papel mo na. Imagine nyo lang bla, doga doodle sa, he started scribbling something on a piece of paper. Imagine nyo mo nagkakatabo do ka awkward na mo, do nahuya na sa. And then, the professor continued. Mamangkot pag did you have breakfast, lunch, or dinner together? Did you ask how he was? Did you ask how he was doing? And then, samtang mo nang ginapamangkot ng professor, tears, nagluha. Nagluha ang young man. Tears welled up in his eyes, in the eyes of the young man. Nagluha na siya. And then the professor held the hand of the young man, hingkamtan niyang kamot, and said to the young man, do not be embarrassed. Do not be embarrassed. Do not be upset or sad. Don't be sad. I am sorry if I hurt you unintentionally, but I ask you because this is the answer to your question. Amuning sabat ko sa pamangkot mo kagina. You are in contact with your father, but you don't have a connection. Connection is heart to heart. Connection is heart to heart. Sitting together, eating together, caring for each other, making eye contact, spending some quality time together. And then the young man wiped his tears and said, Tulapuan niya yung luha. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me an unforgettable lesson. Thank you. Thank you. Pisngo sa. Thank you for teaching me an unforgettable lesson. The end. That's the end of the story.
Wow.
Alright, so if you like the story tonight, I want you to react and send your reaction sa text line, okay? So, anong lesson, anong na-learn nyo, anong insight nyo? You know what? This is the reality of today. Kung tanawin nyo, this is the reality of today. So, whether in your home, whether at home be, or whether in the society, pero kakatabugi niya, everyone has a lot of contacts, but there is no connection. Everyone is busy in their own world. Hindi ba? Damo ta contacts but no connection. So let's not be in contact. Hindi lang nga contact lang, but stay connected. Let's stay connected. Let's care for one another. Let's share one another. Let's be caring. Let's spend time with our loved ones. Ano na caring, sharing, and spending time with all our loved ones. So dapat may connection, hindi kay contacts lang. So if you like the story tonight, I want you to send your reaction now sa text line 0912-718-7011.
Yo! Sa bahay o sa biyahe kahit saan mo magpunta, ikaw lang idol, araw-araw gusto kong kasama sa balita. Music, kwentuhan man o drama sa IFM.